Welcome to the Link Life podcast. My name is Christal Anderson, and I am your host. On this podcast, we explore how to become a high value connection. What is a high value connection? Glad you asked. A high value connection is someone who is intentional about pouring into someone else. We are the type of people who love and serve and listen and support. We add value to other people's lives, not necessarily in a monetary way, even though that could be one of the ways that we express our love. But more so that our goal is that we want people to leave us feeling full and loved and valued and seen. That's what a high value connection is. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in friendships. It could also be in other relationships. But that's the goal here. And in this episode, we're going to talk about how to be memorable. And the reason why we're talking about how to be memorable is because I don't think that you can have a positive impact if no one remembers who you are. I don't think that's possible. You're just forgettable. And that's I don't think that's what we're aiming for, right? Like we want to be memorable. I think that when you impact someone's life in a positive way, they remember you. You stand out in their mind. And I am modeling this after my father. My father passed away when I was 19, but one of the things that I admired so much about him was how people remembered him. It could be years later and they would be like, "Yeah, I remember you." And it wasn't just because he was tall and handsome, which he was, but it was the way that he treated people. I think sometimes when you think about being memorable, it's more self-centered, where you're like, "What could I do to stand out?" Right? What maybe I could have a party trick, look, fine as wine, and have the prettiest face, the baddest body, and then people will remember me. And maybe, I mean, that's true, but the problem with that is that there's always someone who can always one up you, right? Like someone could always have a better story, someone could always be prettier or have a better body than you. Like there's so many ways that that situation can change. And what I learned from my dad is that it's about how you make people feel that makes them remember you. So it's interesting. His last name was Notice, Notice. And I've made an acronym because, if y'all know, I said I love words. I'm a writer. I made an acronym for Notice. So 5 steps that you can do to be memorable to other people. Okay, so we're going to get right into it, y'all. The first step is N and O. I put those together, and that stands for notice others. I know it's kind of it's like what it's the acronym is notice, and the first one is notice others. Yeah, it wasn't that creative, but we're gonna go with it, okay? So what I mean by notice others is that you have to be what's the word? You have to pay attention. So I have this really bad habit of being on my phone when people are talking to me. I know. I know it's bad. It's really bad, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm going to stop doing it. But literally, I used to notice that there'll be times that people are having conversation with me and I'm just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool, cool, cool. True, true, true. Yeah, for real. All right. Yeah. And I'm engaging, but I'm not giving them my undivided attention. And that's not good. I don't That's not good. It's not good. I mean, I know that in other relationships, I wouldn't feel heard or seen or respected if the person couldn't put down their phone to listen to what I have to say, especially if you're trying to connect with others. And if our objective is to make people feel better before they talk to us, then we're probably doing the opposite because we're kind of telling them that what you're saying is not important to me. What's on my phone is way more interesting than you are. So thanks, but no thanks. So yeah, that's the first one. Notice others. The T stands for talk less. Listening is one of those things that is so important in being memorable. The irony is that everyone likes to talk about themselves. But more than that, I think everyone likes to be heard. Everyone likes to feel valued. And one thing about my father that I can remember is that he was a really good listener. There were times that he wouldn't say anything and I wasn't sure what he was thinking, but he would be able to how do you say it? He would be able to capture the essence of what I was saying, even if he used different words to say it. I don't remember my dad over talking someone or always trying to force his point across. He was a listener. He would listen. He would sit down and he would try to understand. Last year, my kids they went to like a leadership school and they had different principles that they were learning. And there was one thing that they brought home that I was like, man, this is something I need to put into my everyday life. And it said, seek first to understand before being understood. And man, I can't tell you how many times I have waited for someone to take a breath for me to insert my own opinion as opposed to listening and hearing them out. It's hard. I like talking, clearly. We're doing this, but talk less, listen more, hear the person out, which leads to the next letter I. Be intrigued. Ask questions. When someone is talking about their experience or their thought process, even if you don't agree with it, ask questions. Be engaged. Have a natural sense of curiosity. Ask them who, why, when, what, how, where, right? Figure out more about the situation that they're telling you. Be naturally intrigued. Which leads me to the next letter, C. Compliment. Compliment others. There is always something that you can find that you like about a person. Now, I want to explain that there is a difference between complimenting and flattery. Flattery is when you are saying something that you don't really mean to get your way, right? You think you're saying something that you think the person wants to hear as opposed to a genuine compliment. I try to make this a practice. When I go to work, someone will come on the elevator with me and I will find something to compliment on them, whether it's their shoes or their hairstyle or the cute bow or their nails or the sneakers. I mean, I try to practice it regularly. And so far there hasn't been one person that I haven't found one thing, at least one thing that I could compliment them on. Make a practice of giving compliments, especially if it's someone that you think could be a potential friend or member of your tribe, right? Like if it's someone that you want to form any type of relationship with, look for compliments. And then as you compliment them, notice how their body language changed. It's like they brighten up. It's the same thing for when you ask questions. I noticed that too. When I ask questions about people, I know we're going back to I be intrigued, but I feel like everything ties together. But asking questions and complimenting people, I feel when I observe as I'm talking to them, that's when I see the biggest change in their body language where they're like, "Oh, wow, she wants to hear what I have to say." Like, okay. And they lighten up and their whole demeanor changes. They go from, kind of like close off my head to like, oh yeah, yeah, let's talk about this. Not always though. Some people are more suspicious than others, and also they're more introverted as well. So sometimes it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I want this interaction to end immediately. So I try to be conscious of that as well. The last one is E. Be enthusiastic. And what I mean by that is be excited, which is another E word, to get to know the person. Sometimes a person can notice others. They'll not be distracted and give the person their undivided attention. They'll talk less. They'll listen actively and, ask, be intrigued and ask questions and compliment them. But if they don't seem excited to get to know you and it just seems like they're being polite, then it won't have the same impact. You kind of feel like they weren't really interested in getting to know you. You have to be enthusiastic when you are interacting with a person in order to be memorable. My dad would always match the person's energy, not if they were negative, but if the person was bubbly, he would be excited to get to know them. And there was one time I had a friend who had come to my church, and we were in college, but my dad found out that she was from the DR. He continued the rest of the conversation in Spanish. Y'all, I was in college and I didn't even know that my dad could speak Spanish. Like, what? Wait a whole minute, sir. Like, you could have taught me something. Anyways, but yeah, he was super enthusiastic to interact with her. He remembered all of my friends, even if he couldn't remember their names. Um, yeah, he was enthusiastic when he met people. He acted joyful. I'm pretty sure looking back, my dad was definitely an introvert. I think he recharged by himself, but when he did interact with people, it was so sincere. And I think that's why people remembered him. I mean, remembered him to the point that I would be on the train and they'd be like, "Oh, you're Mr. Notice's daughter," and it's like, dang, like what? I don't know, and I wouldn't even know who these people were, but they just remembered my dad. Yeah. Anyway, so those are 5 things that you can do. We'll recap. Notice others, which is the N and the O. So that means, give the person your undivided attention. Don't talk over them. Don't be distracted on your phone. Christal, don't do that. The T is talk less, actively listen, right? Be engaged in the conversation, which leads to I, be intrigued, ask questions, follow up, be like, man, like, how that was bad. be be engaged in the conversation, ask questions, who, what, where, why, when, how, what. C, compliment, find something that you admire or like about the person. And then E is be enthusiastic. Enthusiastically show that you're interested in getting to know the person, meet their energy. Yeah, just give what you would like to receive. Yeah. All right, guys. I hope that you found this lesson valuable. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like and share with a friend. And yeah, I will see you guys another time. All right, y'all. Don't forget to make someone smile today. See ya later. Bye.